The Daily Keeper's Prayer. This was given to us by Lady Ascended Master Nada. My husband is going to go through the Daily Keeper's Prayer with us so we understand more about it, what you should visualize, and what to keep in mind when saying this decree.
You know, nada in Spanish, the English translation is nothing.
Yes.
It's like saying like Lady Master nothing. I hope she forgives me for that.
I'm sure she will.
Well, first of all, why this prayer? This is called Daily Keeper's Prayer.
Yes.
And a keeper is someone that takes care of, as Jesus said, be a keeper, be your brother's keeper. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, he also meant sister in that case, as in take care of each other. Mm-hmm. And that's what this prayer is for. What's interesting about this prayer, though, is that it's meant to help someone become one with the universe. It literally helps you to raise your level of consciousness and to connect better with the universe.
Okay.
And that's why it's important for us to go through this and let people understand. Whomever, by the way, if you're watching this video, what does it mean?
That means you have received the decree and you're in a different level of membership than from when you first began.
Right? And again, that means we're guided to give you this decree, which also means then that you are on your way, your initial way, of raising your consciousness, raising your level of consciousness spiritually. Mm-hmm. And this helps you. Now, how does it help? So we won't go through everything. We'll skip around. For example, it starts with the term, a flame is active. A flame is vital. A flame is eternal. I am a God flame of radiant love, from the very heart of God in a great central sun, descending from the Master of Life. I am charged now with beloved Helios and Vesta's supreme God consciousness and solar awareness. What are your thoughts on that when you hear that?
Well, I envision myself as this little fire flame that not broke off, but that's a part of God, but I have my own individuality.
Right, like you're made in the image of God.
Yes, I am made in the image of God, and I see, I don't really even know who Helios and Vesta are, except for they're Ascended Masters.
They're Ascended Masters that deal with, just like here, the central sun. Actually, when it comes to God's wisdom, they're Ascended Masters that represent God's wisdom. All right, they're not they're the Elohims that represent God's wisdom, because Lord Lanto also represents God's wisdom, but he's the Ascended Master for it.
Okay.
So Helios and Vesta are the big guys, or the big guns that represent the same thing.
Well, when you say great central sun, I see a sun bigger than the sun that we see in the sky, and all that light coming right toward me, and all of this, as it says, the consciousness basically of the entire universe at my access.
And that's exactly what it is. See, if you notice, you are already creating that connection between yourself, that God flame, and the universe. Right? And so that's what this prayer does. Now, we'll jump, it shows right there where it says, descending from the Master of Life, because from God. So you could say divine wisdom or divine being, whatever you want to call it. Now, here it continues, pilgrim upon earth, I am walking daily the way of the Ascended Master's victory that leads to my eternal freedom by the power of the sacred fire, this day and always continually made manifest in my thoughts, feelings, and immediate awareness, transcending and transmuting all elements of earth within my four lower bodies, and freeing me by the power of the sacred fire from those misqualified foci of energy within my being.
So right there, it also makes me think that I'm putting on protection. But here I am, just like individuals who make pilgrimages to different places around the world, mostly, like to Israel for the path that Jesus took on the cross or where he was born. And you're going through that same path that he went. So me, I'm thinking, well, the Ascended Masters, they've already mastered this, they've already done it, so I'm going through the same process. And as I'm doing this, I'm making sure to do what they did, and I'm staying protected, and I'm making sure nothing, all non-beneficial things that I've accumulated in this human form are being cast away.
Or even if they're not cast away, they don't affect you.
They don't affect me, right?
Right? And if you notice, you're not doing it alone.
Right, and doing it with them.
With the help of the Ascended Masters. And that's the key here. You're not doing it by yourself. A lot of people think that they have to do things, or they don't believe in that intermediary. You know, it's just between them and God. And the part they're missing is that it's never just between you and God. There's always an intermediary. But if anybody's watching that and they believe the other way, hopefully you're not too disappointed. But that's a fact. So we continue. I am set free right now from all that binds, by and through the currents of the divine flame of the sacred fire itself, whose ascending action makes me God in manifestation, God in action, God by direction, and God in consciousness.
Oh yes, so as I'm going through doing all of this work, I'm going through my daily life and making sure I'm always focused on balancing what I must, and not letting things affect me, that I am really using all the qualities of God and making them manifest through me to help others as well.
Now do you notice we talk about whose ascending action? So you're also working on your ascension.
Yes.
See, we just recorded a video on that, right? About the ascension process. Here, you're already working on that by removing the things that would bind you to earth, that would make you behave more like a human being. And that's what this is referring to when you write, I'm free from all that binds. Probably hear the page turning, because I'm reading it, by the way. And then, of course, when we say that makes me God in manifestation, God in action, we want to make sure everybody understands that that statement refers to what? Are we saying that we are gods?
No, but we're saying that God is working through us.
And we're expressing that image that we are of Him.
Right.
So we might be gods, but we're like the baby gods compared to the big God. So we're not claiming that we're the big God in any way.
We're just allowing Him to work through us.
Then the next step is, I am an active flame. I am a vital flame. I am an eternal flame. I am an expanding fire spark. So you're expanding, right? From the great central sun, drawing to me now every ray of divine energy which I need, and which can never be requalified by a human, and flooding me with the light and God illumination of 1,000 suns, to take dominion and rule supreme forever, everywhere I am.
Sorry, I'm still saying the decree in my head. No, just that you're seeing yourself expanding with all the qualities of God in everything that you do.
And you've noticed you're expanding.
Yes, expanding.
You're getting bigger.
You're growing.
One
So
with the universe.
visualizing myself as a being of light, which I can easily do, and just seeing it growing bigger and bigger, going all over our land and our community that we live in, and continuing outward is how I visualize it.
Right. Now, someone watching this video and saying the decree might visualize it a little differently.
Right.
That's okay. Each person's visualization is different.
Everyone's experience is different.
But we're recording this video, so just so you have a better understanding of the words, and that the key is you should pay attention to the words so you can visualize what the words are expressing. Where I am, there God is also. Unseparated forever I remain, increasing my light by the smile of His radiance, the fullness of His love, the omniscience of His wisdom, and the power of His life eternal. Go ahead, you know it.
Which automatically raises me on ascension's wings of victory, that shall return me to the heart of God, from whence in truth I am come to do God's will, and manifest abundant life to all. So basically, becoming one with God, embodying the Christ, and making sure that you act out of love, as it states there, and constantly work toward helping others to do the same.
And what's the key thing though? You ascend.
Yes.
Again, you're working towards the ascension.
Mm-hmm.
So every action you take is for that. But if you notice, unseparated forever I remain. So no matter what happens, you're always in connection with God. And how do we do that? Through decrees on a daily basis, or all the time. We're always decreeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we stay with Him. The moment we separate, it's easy to allow something to come in and affect you in a negative way. You're falling apart, you're worried about something. But if you remember this and know that you're always connected with Him, and then you stay focused on that, it's easier to stay on the path.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the omniscience of His wisdom and the power of life eternal. I hope folks are getting the importance of this. And then manifest abundant life to all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it didn't state manifest abundant money.
No.
So what's the importance of this?
Abundant life, to me, encompasses everything that a person would require in order to live the rest of their human experience.
Right? To manifest their best life, as we
Mm-hmm.
say. So what do you gather from this decree? Or why would someone be given this decree?
So they can start to remember who they are and work toward their ascension.
Well, who are they? From what you're saying, when you say remember who
We
they
are
are.
all a part of God. Our soul was created in the image of God because we are a part of God. And this is basically helping us to remember that since we are a part of God, everything we should do, we should always turn to God first and be one with Him at all times in order to always do what's right and what's best for all.
Well, if someone doesn't believe in God, then what? You could say what?
The universe,
Or you
higher
could
power.
You could say they're a spiritual being.
Right.
We're all a spiritual being. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the more we stay connected, the quicker we progress. How do we stay connected? By saying this decree,
Mm-hmm.
you know, daily keeper's prayer, because it helps raise your vibration and your frequency to be closer to the frequency of the universe. So you're all knowing, you know, you have the wisdom of God, and you're closer to your ascension, which means that your behavior is also different, because it's all about love, loving other people, being that example of love and caring for everybody else.
Okay.
So going back to that ascension video, how does this answer that?
Oh, okay, what part of the ascension video? Just how to ascend?
Right?
By using this decree and focusing on it and visualizing it and making sure that you're implementing it.
Very simple, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Very simple.
One decree. If they only knew this decree, they wouldn't have all that pain and everything else.
Right.
So congratulations to you that received this decree. We hope that this video helps. Watch it as many times as you require so you can understand why you should say the decree and how you should say it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to add, huh?
No, that's it.
Okay.